Okay. Yes, let it ring. Okay, I'm doing binding right now, and I'm going to start with this super inexpensive heat gun that I got from Harbor Freight onto this already painted black body. And there's a reason that I paint these bodies first, and I put a coat of clear or two and seal them all up and everything before I cut the binding channel. I will route it after I put color on it. There's a reason behind doing that. Also, here's the binding. It's going to be white. It's going to be white binding. You got to have your binding tape. Bind all or segment, doesn't matter. This is the reason. See, there's a little bit of a lip. There's an edge. So when you fill this up with big old boat flake, which this is going to have some big boat flake, red to be exact, which is why I have a black background color. That way I can fill it in with clear and cover it up a couple times, you know, before you got to sand it down. Big reason for that is you want to fill in that channel, and that gives you a little bit of room extra so you can scrape the binding later. But you could fill it all in and get it flat and still have that little binding channel. That's a big thing, and most people don't think about it, but when you're doing binding, if you don't do that, and you go ahead and do your binding edge ahead of time, which this guitar was done by a friend of mine, I'm not going to say who, but when I broke my back, I needed somebody to help me, and anyway, this one would have been beautiful, but as soon as I got to sanding on it, it caught the flake, and that is the absolute last thing that you want to happen, because it's rendered this thing completely useless, and it, you know, could have been an absolutely stunning guitar. I don't know how I'm going to fix it yet, but I will. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm also doing the same thing with this paisley one-piece swamp ash body. This is one-piece roasted swamp ash. Why I would put paisleys on it, it's because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Anyway, I always do the finish first, and then I'll route for the binding afterwards. And people think I'm crazy for doing it that way, but it gives me a nice clean edge, and it leaves me room to fill it in if I absolutely need to. If you could do me a huge favor and subscribe to this channel, that would be awesome, because I'm going to be posting a bunch of videos coming up soon.